Let's get sweaty.
Hey guys, welcome to a Shenmue Dojo video. Today we're going to talk about Shenmue 3 Enhanced and I guess my expectations for it a little bit, go through the press release again. We were a few months removed from it and I want to refresh people's memories, go through my expectations for things they might want to add on top of it. And I also want to kill some of the more unrealistic expectations I've seen sort of talked about through the community recently and just sort of put those to bed a little bit and a little bit of a rationale as to why. Now, before I dive in, you probably noticed a slight change in the video here. I'm currently recording this in 4K 30. I'm asking everybody to give a little bit of feedback on how it looks, whether you like the look or not, or whether I should revert back in the short term to 1080p 60 FPS. Let me know in the comments and I will pick those up and sort of make a call about what I want to do later on as we go through. So anyway, let's bin that off, let's get started, let's get into the meat and drink of this video itself, which is Shenmue 3 Enhanced and what I'm expecting from this. So first and foremost, the press release itself. Now obviously this came out just prior to Gamescom in August. No real surprises here, I think, for people, but we're going to go through it anyway. So first and foremost, some of the big enhancements here. You're going to get some enhanced graphics and performance with better textures, richer detail, faster load times, and smoother gameplay. I'll talk about a little bit one of my expectations around this afterwards. 4K texture uplift again, just getting everything nice and snazzy looking. A little bit of surprise this one here, DLSS and FSR, that's a big surprise, but again that's going to be really good for those sort of low end systems and also in sort of single player games. Having that sort of DLSS FSR in there is only going to be a good factor in getting that image quality up a little bit, and because you're not playing competitive shooters, the frame time sort of generation doesn't matter too much there. Increased NPC density in the AoE, which is going to make it feel more alive. Classic camera mode, we've all been pushing for that. Fantastic to see that in there. Gameplay tweaks around the stamina system, health restoration before fights, and reduced money barriers. Great, we've been talking about that for years as well. Improved interaction, so cutscene and conversation skip options. Expanded QTE timing window. Those QTEs were just evil hard, but they did have some very funny fail states all the same, but it makes it more accessible. Menu and user interface enhancements, streamlined navigation and help for purchase alerts and all those sorts of things. Makes a lot of sense. I think I'd love the menu to have a proper deep overhaul. I don't know how deep into it they're going to go. And everything is essentially an option. So this is coming out on PS5, Xbox and Nintendo Switch with upgrade paths for current PlayStation 4 owners to PS5 and PC owners over on Steam and Epic Games Store, should you wish to go and pay for that. When we interviewed in it came out around 10 to 15 euros, what they were saying, but that is not confirmed at this point in time. So that is the press release itself. So that's what we know we're getting. But what do I want, which I don't think things are potentially too unreasonable. Now, I'm going to start off. We talked about the graphical enhancements already in the press release. What I want, more for PC than anything else here, and maybe this could come over to PlayStation 5 and Xbox particularly, is around the idea of more graphical options. So on PS5 and Xbox, I would, if you could do it, have a performance mode and a fidelity quality mode. Nice and simple, there you go. And maybe a frame rate counter on there so you can lock the frame rate to certain FPS if you wish to. However, I'm talking more about PC here and what's important there. So we're getting DLSS and FSR, which is fantastic, but I want more than that. So over on PC, there is a mod that can do this for you. So coming up on the screen right now will be the Reddit post for this mod. And you can see here, it's a little bit of a breakdown of what the mod is and what it does, and a screenshot in front of that, which does look really good. So this improves like depth of field, shadow quality, draw distance, and loads of other things as well. So you can see on the screen there's like the comparison before and after. If you go over to Nexus mods, you can really see this in like full fat action here. So on the screen coming up now, so the screenshot I just showed you. Then coming across vanilla, then afterwards you can see lots more details around the trees and the shadows there. Nice comparison here with improved view distance, LEDs, foliage and anti-aliasing there. You can see straight away the detail on the rocks, the detailing of the buildings. It's just far better, far superior there. Going through again, sort of vanilla and upgrade. Look, again, the trees in the background on the sort of right hand side of the image all have their fruit on them. Just far more detail. Got the rocks behind the Marshall Hall there. Again, very similar picture here with better shadows, better motion blur, and improved depth of field there. Again, improved view distance from foliage. Again, look at all that foliage and trees around it. It just brings it alive for me here. It looks fantastic. Coming through, some more indirect lighting and reflections are improved just a little bit. Again, improved again. Some more improved reflections and textures there. Here, again, you can see the improved shadow distance of vanilla. On the left, you can see there's not really any shadows at the back there, but then in the upgraded version there are. Again, vanilla, not as much. The shadows are a bit blurry there, but it's been cleaned up here. Again, you can see better view distance there. Improved shadows and particles, again. And then improved ground detail, shadow distance and LODs. Improved shadows again. It brings it alive for me. You can just see the differences there are stark, actually. Absolutely stark. A bit more improvement on the old motion blur there as well for you. So what I want, and I don't think it's that difficult. Someone's put this mod together. I've linked the Reddit topic and I've linked Nexus mods as well. If you want to go and try this out on PC, it's absolutely there. I would like graphical sliders or choices or performance modes, fidelity modes for PC. Now, high-end PCs will benefit greatly from something like this as well. You had none of these options in the vanilla release back in 2019. So if you had more of these options here, you can allow the game to look a darn sight better. Not that it looked bad anyway, it looked really good, but look really top-notch in terms of the draw distances, the foliage, and the environments and everything. The environments are great already, but to make them look even better, I think it's a no-brainer for me. Please, 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 and put that in, because you are going to really capture that PC market for me, and you're going to get some brilliant screenshots out of it as well. I absolutely promise you. And just seeing those together, you know, guys, that it's going to look absolutely stunning and fantastic there. So I'd love all of that. And as I said, PlayStation 5, Xbox, get us frame rates in there and get us performance and quality modes, and I think most people are going to be very, very happy. Nintendo Switch, just get it running, please. I don't quite know how you're going to do that, but we'll see how we end up there. Next bit on the topic list here is the mistranslation at the end of the game. We all know this is a pain in the neck. It messes everything up, but there is a very simple fix and request for this. So the simple request is bin it off. Now you're looking at me going, but is that going to work? Yes, it is. A user on the forums called Wuying Ren popped a little video together, and it works out quite nicely. But don't just take my word for it. Have a watch right now.
The cliff temple that Zhao visited.
That's where we found the scroll.
I heard that your men have taken it over.
So, Lundi is there.
Most likely, with the mirror. The cliff temple that Zhao visited. I heard that your men have taken it over.
So, Lundi is there.
Most likely, with the mirror.
So as you can see there, guys, it works perfectly, doesn't take anything away from the story. A bit of a longer dramatic pause, maybe, if I'm being really sort of hypercritical about it, but that's okay. I'm quite okay with that. If they could extend things over to other small translation fixes, that would be great, but obviously it have a cost, and in Inset Us, when we interviewed them, they want to keep that side of things down as much as possible because of the scope of the project and what they want to do and improve elsewhere. Then the last thing I'm going to talk about here is a photo mode. Now, PC have NVIDIA tools that can do all of that for you, and it makes the game look absolutely stunning. But why not have a photo mode on PlayStation 5 and Xbox? You could extend it to Switch if you wanted to, but frankly speaking, I don't think you can get the quality of the images out there that you would do on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. It's no-brainer here. So what I would do is put in a photo mode for those consoles and let everybody participate in having the opportunity to make as many beautiful screenshots of the Shenmue 3 environments, characters, and everything else as much as possible. Maybe even do some competitions around it or something like that, just to really sort of whet the appetite there and get people going. So that's the things I think are probably not too unreasonable. Probably missed some things. Let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to pick those up. Now to kill some wild expectations, I guess, here. So these are the things that, quite frankly, just aren't going to happen. I just can't. There's no scope for this in any way, shape, or form. Now, people are going, well, how do you know? Honest answer is I don't. But given what Inin said to us when we interviewed them, the budget is very set. It's not limited in scope in that they're doing a lot of things to the game, but in terms of the bigger stuff, they just can't do it. They haven't got the time. They haven't got the budget to do it. So I'm going to kill some things right here. First and foremost, the fighting engine overhaul. Now, simply put, they haven't got the time or the budget or any of the resources to go motion capture all of this to redo the fighting engine from the ground up. Now, I didn't have a particular problem with it. I thought it was okay, but it clearly needed some work. But lots of people didn't like it. That's fine. Even small tweaks could cause a massive can of worms here, and any polishing should be done towards Shenmue 4 when this is developed. I could maybe see some improved inputs, perhaps, but being honest with you, I can't see anything happening to the fighting engine whatsoever. It's a lot of work. It could just mess everything up and open a big other can of other issues that you don't want. So I'm killing that right now. I'm sorry to disappoint people that want the Virtua Fighter engine back. That's another issue in itself, let alone anything else. But it ain't happening here, guys. You're not going to get anything else in terms of fighting engine here. Next up, added DLC and story content. Again, budget time, voiceover, scripting, and all the rest of it. That includes the addition of Baisha, which we don't know how far along it was. It was seen as a screenshot in Adam Cipioni's documentary, Gamer's Journey, around Shenmue. Check that out if you haven't done so already, because it's brilliant. But they're not going to do this. They just aren't. Again, massive amount of content you're going to have to put in there. On top of that, if you do DLC to extend things, that's going to have its own development cost, which at the moment they haven't got the budget for it. And if you're adding story within the current structure of the game already, that becomes a bigger development cycle, and you have to do everything else around it. You have to then pace the game differently, move things over, and that's a big job, and it's just, I can't see it happening. That's not to say DLC couldn't come if Shenmue 3 Enhanced was a success, and we need to make it a success. It's hugely important, but it isn't going to happen in terms of added story or DLC at the moment, at least. So I'm killing that one there straight away. Original voice actors coming back, talking about Eric Halser and Paul Lucas in particular. We did ask this question over at Gamescom. You've got the PC mod, which was put together a long time ago now, but frankly put, it's not happening. Down to contractual and budget issues, getting Eric back and getting Paul back just isn't going to happen, unfortunately. I know some people will be disappointed in that, but again, they've got to put their money into other things I would say are frankly more important. Now, one thing I failed to mention, it's completely my own fault here, was around the Kickstarter stuff. Now, my anticipation is that they are going to include all of the Kickstarter stuff, all of the rewards and the credits and everything. Now, the community participated in a poll about 2 months ago now, where I put out, said, look, would you be happy with this? And actually, the vast majority of the Shenmue community, about 80-90% of you, came out and said, we're quite happy, we got our rewards. If they want to put all the Kickstarter stuff in Shenmue 3 Enhanced, go ahead and do it, because we've had ours, we're happy with it, and we want to share that with everybody else who's playing this game, potentially for the first time, which is fantastic. So on that note, I would hope that Inin have seen that and gone and put that straight in and gone, right, great, easy job, thank you very much, and everybody is happy. Now, to close the video down, do you think I've been realistic with some of the things that I have talked about that I want in? Is there anything I've missed? Is there anything you think, actually, mate, you're just talking utter nonsense? Let me know in the comments below. Likewise, with the wild expectations that I've tried to kill, do you think, actually, again, I'm talking nonsense and some of those could indeed happen? Or are there some other things in there that you think might have been wild but you'd like in there anyway? So I'm going to leave things there, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all the usual places you can find us. It's always appreciated the community drop in, watch the content, participate in the tweetathons and everything else that we are doing. I must stress that we make Shenmue 3 Enhanced as successful as possible, because it is going to have a direct impact on future Shenmue content and Shenmue 4, in my opinion. Don't forget, you can be a member of the channel for £2 a month and get all videos like this ahead of time outside the podcast. If you don't, it all goes onto a normal scheduling system. Any money raised goes to the site running costs and competition prizes that James and I buy and put together for all of you. So I'm going to leave things there, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with another one in the not too distant future. But for now, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you all soon.